Okay, Ananda, you write, really nice experiences seem to call to me. They draw me in. Nice experiences draw me in. Well, that's very nice. Not in conflict with the abiding wonderfulness. No, not at all. Not at all. Why should there be a conflict between being and enjoying? Because being is enjoyment. Being is happiness. Being is bliss. So you could call it a nice experience, but there are experiences that take you to the happiness. They reveal what is behind the experience or beyond the experience, let's say. So the experience could be like a trigger or a some sort of let me see. Let me see. So yeah, so the experience is not an obstacle. It could be an expression of the divine, like, for example, some beautiful arts, a beautiful painting, or a beautiful musical composition, or somebody creating a beautiful meal and setting up a really lovely, table. These are expressions that from trying to get something for oneself. They're just coming directly through the body mind, and they're expressing the divine. So in that sense, you could say they're experiences, but they're experiences that speak of that which is beyond the experience. Does that make sense? I had muted you. Hold on, let me see. Let me unmute you. Oops. Okay, well, you are muted, Ananda. I cannot hear you.
Oh, now you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, sorry. And then when there's a quiet moment of no particular obvious enjoyment, if there is such a thing, you know what I mean? Then the enjoyment of just being, it's such a subtle thing. That's what I'm kind of wondering about, so that that's always there, so that the arising of a particularly nice experience or the non-arising don't interfere with this. And
yes, I think I think I understand what you are saying. So the celebration of the self does not depend on any experience. In other words, happiness is our innate nature. It's what the self is. The self is freedom, beauty, love, and happiness. It does not need, a beautiful house or a nice relationship. It does not need anything. It is innately whole and complete. Now, so we can celebrate the happiness and the freedom that we are upon the recognition that what we truly are is this freedom, is this borderless unlimited, unconditioned presence. So we can celebrate just that celebrates itself. It's a recognition, the recognition of peace, the recognition of happiness. It's not the recognition of wanting anything or having anything, or it's a recognition of our wholeness. The recognition of our wholeness and our inherent freedom and happiness is possible upon the dissolution of the impression of being a conditioned person, of the solution of the conditions, the solution of the structures, the loss of the belief, the solution of the belief in being a certain structure, being a body-mind, reveals our true nature, our inherent happiness and freedom. Now, that does not get in the way of celebrating the beautiful manifestations in our waking dream, beautiful friendships, lovely creativity, the arts, nature, going for a walk, so that they're not. One does not the celebration of a beautiful friendship does not remove or interfere with our happiness. It's an expression of our happiness. It's a celebratory expression. It's a manifestation of our absolute happiness in a certain form. So the form that we're celebrating, a friendship or a beautiful painting, that form that we are celebrating is taking us, is speaking of that which is beyond the form. So when you love somebody and you celebrate love with somebody, through the form, you are celebrating the formless. You are celebrating that which is beyond words, beyond mind. You follow? So, when you are celebrating a beautiful friendship or a beautiful walk in nature, or beautiful performance, whatever it is that you are celebrating, that you're enjoying, there is no need for you to consider that you are moving away from the self, that you are getting into a karmic realm. No. There is no problem with the waking dream itself. When in the non-dual teaching, we speak about the identification. We don't speak about problems with thoughts or manifestations. We speak about identification, identifying myself, meaning the I that is unmanifest, that is undefined. To identify that, the undefined, with a certain form. You follow?
Yeah.
Because once you identify, you attach that which is formless, which is beyond the mind. Once you identify that, or you limit that to a certain form, you have created a whole sense of conditions upon your happiness, upon your inherent happiness.
Right. A sense of poverty, almost.
A sense of poverty, yes. A sense of lack, a sense of need, all sorts of conditions. They vary from body-mind to body-mind, but all sorts of conditions upon your inherent happiness, your inherent freedom, you see? It's quite different from celebrating the waking dream, enjoying like this beautiful gathering here, our friendship, our, our tenderness. That's very beautiful expression in the waking dream of those divine qualities.
No, I had an interesting experience this morning. I was very tired, so I wanted to get a good long sleep, a good catch-up sleep.
Yes.
So I had slept until I'd really slept enough, but I'll just spend a little more time getting more rested. So then I went into a dream state that I was in somewhere like India, and there was some platform that was two surfaces that were moving, and I had to be very careful where I step,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't miss the step and fall. And it was a kind of a distressed dream.
Mm-hmm.
That moment, it was like, well, and then I really thought, now why am I generating a sense of where is it safe to step,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't experience much in the waking state.
Yes. Yes. So in the dream states, at times there is a me impression.
Mm-hmm.
There is an impression of me as a person, and therefore maybe being possibly vulnerable.
Yes.
Taking the wrong step, or
mm-hmm.
So the question is, why is this arising in my night dream or in my semi deep sleep state, and it's not arising in the wakeful state? In fact, it is also arising in the wakeful state, and maybe it is very subtle. On occasion, it's subtle.
More subtle, yeah, more subtle, for sure.
Yes, and in the night dream state, when a me impression arises, is because there is still some trace of me. Yes, there's still some trace of me.
Yeah.
It's not a big disaster, okay? It's just noticing that
Right.
there is a trace of me. And
like there was a body and a person to make the step.
Yes, right.
To make the right step or danger.
Well, there is a body and there is a person, and this body and this person is me, is I.
Right.
So, I mean, in my night dreams, there are a lot of bodies and persons, but there isn't an I. There isn't a me that is there. There's just no me. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I'm saying it's not a big disaster that the me is arising is because sometimes, even when we are aware, we're very clear of our true nature. We've realized that I am consciousness, I am the self. There still are some occasional remnants of echoes of old memories, of old patterns, old sensations that arise.
Yeah.
And they will be triggered in the waking state in various ways, and they will be triggered in the night dream as well. We don't know how or when, but the arising of somebody who might be taking the wrong step and therefore might be vulnerable in the dream state only refers to a remnant of identification.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's possible at some point in your contemplation, in your night dreams, to be aware in your night dream, in your night sleep, to be aware of that person who is vulnerable, and also to be aware that this is a me quality.
Yes.
Because when we are identified, we are not aware of the identification.
Yes, right.
But as your contemplation ripens, you can be identified and aware of the identification. So you're both identified and you're also non-identified. And what will win is a non-identification, because that is your true nature.
Yeah. So that such an experience becomes more of an entertainment, like.
Not just an entertainment. No, this experience, of course, is not a happy experience because you're experiencing yourself possibly vulnerable.
Yes.
It's not really entertaining, but there is a learning from it. You know, maybe the learning is not entertaining, but there is still a learning, which is noticing the me impression. Because in noticing the me impression, once you've realized what you truly are, the me impression no longer has that power that it used to have. So noticing this identification is also part of your contemplation.
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. Certainly not getting more distressed over an appearance,
right?
As if it means something.
Absolutely, absolutely. You don't need to give these arising undue importance, because what gives them undue importance is that impression of me that maintains itself by having problems and solving problems.
Mm-hmm.
The self is problem free. And you are the self.
Mm-hmm. You know, well, as long as I have your attention, I have something I've been pondering is, you know, I have been aware of different people in the role of leader, you know, guru, leader, spiritual leader, having sometimes really unkind personality traits or dysfunctional, you know, like that. I can think, I mean, we could probably list a whole list of them, but I won't, you know, mention names that are kind of famous in our experience. But I was thinking, why would someone, for example, push themselves on someone who didn't want it? You know, the bad behavior of people in authoritative positions. And I've just kind of been pondering. It's kind of a conundrum of. It almost seems like anybody who becomes famous has some kind of personality disorder, because why do they? Unless it's just that they're a great piano, you know, player and their life is beautiful and they go to play because people want, you know, it's all good. But the thing of seeking the fame for its own sake. In our culture, it's considered to be just one of those desirable things, you know, if you can have it, get it, kind of thing.
It's best not to get distracted by these questions. And don't be so sure of yourself.
You mean of my interpretation of what I see?
Only aim to be completely certain. Aim for complete certainty. You can let go of those things that are more or less certain. Now, if you're experiencing something like that within yourself, that you're having a relationship where somebody is relating with you in a way, or a teacher that's relating with you in a way where they want you to venerate them and admire them, then there is obviously something that that is pertaining to you that you can look at and contemplate. But I would say that in the absence of an experience that you are having of that nature, who cares?
I know, because in one Facebook site where I converse with a lot of people, there's been just recently a whole lot of, it has a little bit of a witch hunt feeling about it, like, well,
yeah, there are some games that you play that gets your hands dirty. There are some games that you play that are sweet and lovely.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So being judgmental of somebody for being judgmental, for example.
Yeah, you can discern of what you are engaged in that has a certain perfume of love, or a certain sweetness to it, or a certain quality of love, and not so I mean,
the rumor mill, grinding the rumor mill.
Yes,
is something that some people really get into. Yeah.
Yes. So it's me and somebody else, and that teacher and this teacher and all of that. But I mean, having said that, now I'm going to talk generically, because I'm not talking about anybody specifically. They're in the process of awakening, of liberation. There are interim stages that appear to be the ultimate stage.
Yes, I can see that. Yeah.
And sometimes when there are certain folks that have had a certain awakening, and for whatever reasons they feel that this is the ultimate revelation, and they may adopt certain, depending again on what are the conditions are surrounding their awakening, they may adopt certain qualities of authoritarianism, or I am it, or anything goes. I'm what I truly am is beyond the world, body, mind, and therefore I can act in whichever way. So this is just speaking generically. Yes, there are interim stages, but what does it matter to you? Because you are really going for the full revelation of the self, and that's what really matters to you. You're not interested in any experience or any stage of awakening.
Okay, yeah, and then maybe more for me, in terms of it could even be me taking it. I'm not actually, I don't have anything in mind at the moment, but taking advantage of some situation just because I can see what's happening on a psychological level, even.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean that's like, I mean, borderline abusive when you are in relationship with other people in the psychological realm. That's a violation of the tenets of good therapy, and a good counseling. I mean, and it's, of course, there isn't in therapy, there isn't a complete absence of the self, of the me, but there are certain ethics in relating with others that are honorable ethics that we.
Yeah, you can see where it's a quagmire. like a quicksand, because when there's an active me element alive, it's going to be in everything. It's going to be into everything.
I mean, in therapy, I think it's good to say that a therapist is his or her first client. They are their own first client. Yes, they're their own first client. So it's they're not the knowledgeable people. They're actually in contemplation themselves, and at the same time contemplating with others out of their own knowledge and their own study and their own contemplation.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It's a dynamic, living. I mean, I'm talking about therapy that, or counseling that has a certain degree of ripeness to it.
Frankness to it?
Ripeness? Ripe?
Oh, ripeness. I'm sorry.
A certain degree of maturity to it.
Maturity, yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Those were good observations. I was just thinking in daily life, it's like I don't know. I don't really see a problem. It's just another expression of the same subject. It can be beautiful and fun, and even if you, like when you're with children and they don't understand what's going on, but you introduce a game and you do this and you do that. It's again, like you were saying, an expression of what's beyond, or an expression of the self. Even though there's such a disparity in psychological and maturity between people, it's still just the self playing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, in relationships, happiness is a shared happiness. We're all benefiting from the relationship. We're all enjoying the relationship. We're all celebrating the relationship. And that's what's really beautiful in a relationship. It's just encompassing and all encompassing, as quality of embracing quality. Yeah, so the ball goes around and we're all playing together, you see. Nobody's holding on to it. Nobody's running the show. We're just all together playing and celebrating the love, the sweetness. And so that feels good. It feels good for everybody. If it's only feeling good for some people and not feeling so good for some others, it's a good topic of contemplation.
Right.
Wait a minute, what's going on here? So we get concerned about others, how they're feeling, and whether they're being embraced in our how we are living. So we live with others, sort of part of us.
That's beautiful. Yeah, plays well with others. That's the expression "plays well with others."
No, but it sounds good.
What they say on the report card for a kindergartner. There's no other grades.
Oh, okay.
Plays well with others is
I see. Okay.
number one.
That's a good one. It plays well with others. Yes. Yeah, you see, that's good. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. This has just been a delightful talk. Thanks.
Beautiful. Nice to see you.
Hi, Matthew.
Hello, Renate.
The last exchange brought something up in me that I noticed. I mean, I've been noticing it for a long time, but in the last days, I noticed that sometimes if something bad happens to other people, it can bring seemingly a relief to me. Like, for instance, in my yoga group, there's one girl and she has her back was very bad. And I think I've been jealous of her or something. And then I thought, oh, it was a kind of relief that she also suffers something like this. Or if people have not so good holidays, and noticing this, I realize that I must be unhappy. So I need to compare myself to other people, and mostly I think I feel more negative about myself. I don't know why. It's like a habit, I think. And what is good that I don't judge myself too harshly for this, because I don't know. It's like it is. I think I used to, when I used in the past, I used to be very hard about these feelings, thinking negative about others. But I don't like this trait, this character trait. It brings relief to me to see others suffering. It's unnecessary. It's stupid somehow. So I must become more happy. Then I don't need this anymore.
Oh. There is sometimes we are happy on the surface. It's not real happiness. We sort of cover our unhappiness, our confusion, our inner conflicts. We cover them, or we try to show a certain face, a certain image that is brighter than how we actually are, slightly below the surface. And when you scratch the surface, you will see something else. So we may have this sort of sensitivity to this false veneer of happiness, a false layer, false cover-up that masquerades as happiness, but it's a fake happiness. It's not a real happiness. And when we hear of something unhappy happening to these people, we recognize something, you know. We feel actually what we feel happy. We actually feel a recognition. We recognize something that is true, that basically that the true happiness is not in being a great yoga student or having a great job or a radiant personality, or that it's deeper than that. It's not at that level. So it could be that when you're sharing what you're sharing, that you feel happy when somebody has an unhappy experience, that the happiness that you are expressing, that you are feeling, is not because suddenly they have lost their happiness and now they are unhappy, but you're expressing a recognition. You're recognizing something that is more real, that true happiness does not belong to this world body mind. It's not in the world body mind. It is beyond the world body mind, and it can shine onto the world body mind, but it can only shine onto the world body mind once it is revealed to be the beyond. So I would not I hesitate about interpreting my happiness when somebody else is unhappy, that I am unhappy. I am happy because they are unhappy. I hesitate to make that conclusion. I don't know for sure. You have to look for yourself. But I'm just proposing that the happiness that you are feeling when somebody is having a difficult experience is because you are recognizing that their happiness was only a seeming happiness. True happiness.
I wouldn't say it makes me happy. It's more like a relief. I feel a relief.
Yes, it's a relief.
I'm not alone.
Yes, it's right. It's a relief because it's this idea that and some people live with this sort of happy, as a happy person, you know, and you are relieved when you find that that this person is unhappy, because happiness does not belong to the person. Happiness is beyond the person. So you go, yeah, right. You know, there you go. You're an unhappy person, but you're, and actually the other is not a person. We are all consciousness. It is just consciousness. So the game of being a happy person is a hoax. It's a masquerade. It's a joke. You see, what they say, maybe Ananda, you can help me. The garden is greener on the other side of the fence, something like that. You know? Yeah. It's it's greener on the other side of the fence, but
the grass.
The grass. What did I say? The garden. Okay, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. You see, but in fact, you know, the other side of the fence is also saying, well, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Yes. Yes. So yes, you feel a sense of relief from the falsehood that a happy person. There is no such thing as a happy person. There are no such thing as happy people. Happiness does not belong to persons. Persons and people are dream characters. They're not real. Only consciousness is real. Happiness belongs to consciousness. Happiness is consciousness. And only upon realizing yourself that I am consciousness, and it's an important revelation. First, you have to come to that I am not a woman. I am not born. I am consciousness, eternal consciousness. It's very crucial to come to this understanding. And then after that, the journey is the releasing of the tendencies, what you've inherited, the inherited tendencies, the inherited reactions, the inherited opinions. All of that is going to come up, to fade away, to come up, to go into the space, because they remain in the body-mind structure, and they release in the body-mind structure once you realize that you are consciousness.
And I'm not sure if I have realized that I'm consciousness. How can I find out? I mean,
well, you can
I
ask
know
yourself,
I know what you're talking about, but it seems it's,
well,
I don't know.
right now you are conscious, yes?
Yes.
And you know you are conscious, yes?
Yes.
And you are conscious of this perception.
Yes.
You're conscious of hearing these words, yes? So there is something that before you call it by any name, before you say it's a female, a male, before you label it anything, there is something in your direct experience that is not actually a thing. We refer to it as consciousness, that perceives this perception. Yes?
Yeah.
There is something real that perceives this perception, whatever that is. Yes?
Yes.
And that's what we refer to as I. I. We refer to it as I. We refer to consciousness as I. Consciousness refers to itself as I. I, consciousness. So I know that, the thought, oh, I am Renate, arises. But it arises to whom? It arises to what? It arises to I. Yes? So the thought or the image, I am Renate, arises. It's okay. But it arises to what? This image right now is arising. To what? It's arising to I. And then the thought arises, well, I am Renate, but that thought arises to what? To I. So both the image, this image, arises to I, and the thought, I am Renate, arises to I, the same I. And the body sensation, the feeling that I am sitting in this chair, go to it, go to this feeling, this sensation of I'm sitting in the chair. Okay. Let's go to it. And try to give it a color, color it. Any combination of colors, just color it. Color it. Give it some image, some form. This sensation, this feeling, I am sitting in this chair, give it a color. Any color, it doesn't matter. That also arises to I. I perceive. I. Yes? Yes. So even the sensation of I am sitting in this chair arises to I meaning consciousness, awareness, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. I say sometimes awareness, consciousness, presence, beingness, it doesn't matter. But this consciousness, when we say consciousness, we're not talking about some abstract concept. We're talking about our direct experience, yes? I mean, direct experience meaning the reality that perceives right now. Yes?
Yeah.
You always are perceiving, you always are, right? You always are. Even between one thought and another thought, you don't disappear. You still are, yes? Between one experience and another experience. Experience A and experience B. You still are. Yes? You don't cease to be. The experience stops. The experience A stops. And then a second later, experience B starts. I know I'm not talking about the experience. Experience, yes, it changes. It's okay. But the I doesn't stop between thought A and thought B. It doesn't stop. That I is not a something. It's consciousness, you see? The I, what we refer to as I. You see, the I is always, is eternal. I am. I isness. So this is your primordial experience, Renate, yes? You experience Renate as I experiences Renate. Yes, I experiences Megdi. I experiences images. I experience thoughts. And I know myself directly, without thoughts, without images, without a tree, without a house. I know myself. I am. So the I am consciousness, I am conscious, is our direct knowingness of ourselves without mind and without body, which is direct. You don't need to go to the brain to think, oh, am I aware or not? You don't need to think. You know that you're aware directly before thought. And then you're aware of thought also. For example, the thought, I love swimming. Of course, you're aware of the thought too. But before the thought, I love swimming, you know I am. Yes? Yes? Yes. So contemplate I am, yeah, and that I know I am. Yes? Until it's very clear for you that I am, that I am amness, the amness. The I is your primary experience, never comes and goes. Yes? Never, dreams come and go, images come and go, thoughts come and go, feelings come and go, sensations come and go. But the I never comes and goes. Yes? And I refers to the reality of consciousness. Whatever it is that right now perceives as perception. Everything appears to you, to I. I is the primordial. The source, the reality, the truth, beingness. Everything else is downstream from I. Everything, which is okay. But everything else is downstream because everything is known via I. I awareness, I consciousness. Sometimes I refer to consciousness as knowingness or beingness. Yes? The vastness of being. Borderless beingness. Borderless presence. Radiant beingness, radiant love. The radiance of the self. Okay. Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Yes. Mhm.
Oh, I forgot how to. Oh.
Yes. So, any questions?
Yes, I have one.
Hello, Maru.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, Maru, very nice. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. Well, there are ups and downs, so to speak, about being able to see the identification with the body and losing it or whatever. But I think that the most difficult for me is with the physical problems. Like I've been sick all the week and it's nothing serious, just a cold, but I feel pretty bad. So I realized how completely identified with the body I am.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have this pain and the discomfort and this contraction, and it's all these sensations that I don't want them there. And it's clear for me that I don't want them there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this complete identification, and it gets even very tiring. So can you tell me something about it?
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to.
Yes, Maru. So, like you said, there are these sensations in the body, these pains, this tiredness, this maybe difficulty with breathing at times, or sneezing, or coughing, whatever. And all of these things, of course, first of all, it's important to understand that they're happening at the body. They're happening to the body. It's happening to the body, not to you. Yes, they're happening to the body. So the body is experiencing this, is going through all of this, and you are witnessing that. You are like the mirror. Let's say it's a mirror, and in the mirror now the water is not calm. There are waves. Or you are a mirror, and there is a fireplace, and now the wood. You know when you're burning wood in the fireplace, sometimes the wood goes. There's like some pockets of humidity or something, go like that, and sparks come up. So you're witnessing. Of course, all these sound like words when you are identified with I am the body. Then you hear Magdi saying these things, and you say, well, Magdi, you don't understand me. You say you don't understand, but I do understand, because I know identification is just a condition, that's all, that can be cured. So in our understanding, we need to understand that what is happening to the body and not to me. You also said that all these things are happening and you don't want them to happen. So this is a very key thing you said, because if you don't want them to happen, then you are going to suffer, because volcanic eruptions happen, earthquake happen, fire happens, floods happen, tornado happen, beautiful sunshine happen, beautiful lake happen. Everything happens because it's a body mind happening. It's a world body mind happening. It's a dream happening. But when you don't want it to happen, then you have difficulty with the weather, you have difficulty with the volcano, you have difficulty with the traffic, you have difficulty with the government, you have difficulty with the politics, you have difficulty with your neighbors, you have difficulty with the plants you water and doesn't grow. You have a million difficulties. You have difficulty with your body. It's aging. It's getting sick. You catch a cold. All sorts of difficulties because you don't want it. You say I don't want it. You see, when you say you don't want it, you are separating yourself from the wholeness. You're saying, oh no, this is good, this is bad, I am this, I am good this, and I am bad that. You see, so already you've divided yourself. It's like you cut yourself in many pieces, and you say, okay, I want to experience wholeness, I want to experience peace, and keep cutting yourself in pieces and taking piece off a piece off a piece off, and this is the wholeness is not like that. The contemplation is not about resisting what is happening, but to contemplate that what is happening as a world body mind event, like the weather. It's happening like the weather, and it's not happening to me. Whatever happens to the body is not happening to I. I am consciousness, I am presence, I'm the reality of the self, you see? So the identification and the resistance, they come hand in hand. So you need to surrender. You need to open yourself up. Well, you already are open up. You need to invite whatever is happening to come to the vastness of being. In the vastness of being, you are that. You are the vastness of being. That's already God's given. It's already, you don't need to become the vastness of being. You already are that. Just invite everything that arises, invite everything that happens to the vastness of being that you are, and invite your resistance, your very resistance. Invite it to dissolve in the space. Don't try to fight it. Don't try to become a better person. Don't try to become a holy person, a non-dual person. Don't try to any of this. Don't try to do anything. Simply remain still and recognize the awareness, the vastness of being. And everything that arises are like images on the screen. They arise in you. They don't arise to you. They don't happen to you. Nothing is happening to you. So right now you can just expand your being. Expand your being. Past all your ideas, past all your limitations. Go past, allow yourself to expand. Right now, allow yourself to expand past all your limitations. Whatever the limitations are. Allow your being to be, to shine. The light shine through. Allow the light to shine through. Let it shine onto an unhealthy body. Let it shine onto a volcanic eruption. Let it shine onto everything. Everything is bathed in the light of being, you see? In the light of being. Yeah? When you want yourself to be healthy, when you want yourself to be something, you are creating conditions. It's like having a relationship with somebody and you have conditions. Oh, I want you to be like this, like that, like that, like that. Good luck. Good luck. But when you love, you say, okay, we're going to see. I don't know you, we're going to see. I don't know myself, I don't know you, we're going to see. Let's just see. Let's just explore and contemplate together. Let's see. Maybe it will be beautiful. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it will not. We don't know. You see. But with the self, with the contemplation of whatever is happening, you can contemplate from your wholeness, from this place of wholeness. Not from Maru, the person. That's already limited and unhappy. Maru, the person, is given to you to celebrate the self. Not to become Maru. Not to become Maru. It's given to you as a tool for celebration, for enjoyment. It's not given to you so you become it. Maru is not given to you so it defines you. So it becomes a burden. Oh, the body. Oh, I can barely walk. My shoulder, my belly, my leg. Oh, you know, it's not given to you so you can carry it like a heavy load. No, it's given to you for celebration, for contemplation, to realize in the midst of the body sickness, you remain the freedom of the self. You remain the freedom of the self. The self is beyond the body-mind. Body-mind experience, whatever it is, is an image on the screen. Only when you want it to be different are you now going down the rabbit hole. And it gets tighter and tighter and smaller and narrower and darker, with no light in sight. But you know, at any moment, you can come to the light of awareness, because it's always available. It is eternally available. 1 minute you're in the rabbit hole, you snap your finger, here you are, pure presence. Yes? Yes, we say yes to pure presence. Yes? Beautiful. We say yes to presence. Yes, we say yes to presence. Huh? Very lovely.
Yes.
Yes. Yes to presence. Yes. Yes to freedom of being. The vastness of being. Yeah. That is. The freedom that is. Yes, the freedom that is. No conditions. No images on the screen. I am the screen of awareness. The Maru character, whatever it is, it does what it does. The body does what it does. Yeah, it's a realm, a dream realm. The reality belongs to consciousness. Yes? The I am.
Yes.
Don't add the Maru. Just I am.
Yes.
But I am Maru feeling sick. No, don't. Not that. Just I am.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Contemplate I am. I am. Contemplate pure beingness. Only pure beingness. Contemplate pure beingness. Of course, take care of your body. I know you do. You eat nice vegetarian diet, healthy, as clean as possible. Allow the body to clean itself. Yes? As best you can, gently, lovingly. Because you are, in a way, the manager of this body. But you know that you're not the body. Yeah? You do your best with the body, that's all. Yes? But you remain knowing yourself as I. Yes? I.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, Maru. Very lovely to see you. Beautiful. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Any questions?
if you could, well, if you have something to say about that.
The I am is wakefulness without opposite.
Mm.
Beingness without an opposite. Reality has no opposite. What would be the reality of non-reality?
Mm.
Beingness has no opposite.
Mm.
Because what would be the beingness of non-being?
Mm-hmm.
Freedom has no opposite. Because what freedom is there in non-freedom? What would be freedom if there is non-freedom? Limited freedom. You can walk in the yard, we have a bigger yard for you. Instead of 200 square feet, you go up to 250 square feet. And the walls are no longer 25 feet. We lowered them down to 23 feet.
Much better.
Much better. More freedom, more freedom.
And more afternoon sunlight for another 8 minutes. Yo, I see. I see. That's so saying I am awake. The paradox part is imagining I have the option of awake or not. It's what's coming from that of a relative position.
You could say that the I am, first, it's important to understand that the I and the I am are one. There isn't an I that is. I is isness.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Sat-Chit, beingness and awareness. I and isness are one. So you could say that I am, let's say, the wakefulness of being, if you want, or I am wakefulness, I am eternity. There are some terms that allude to the absolute.
Yeah.
They do not allude to the relative.
Yes.
So you could say I am eternal. I am wakefulness, not I am awake. I'm awake versus what?
Yeah. I mean, maybe tomorrow I'll be asleep. That.
But you see, the I. It depends what you mean by eyes. That's really crucial. That if you're referring to I as a me, as a person, then yes, we are talking about the body-mind being awake or being asleep. Mm-hmm. But the true I, the real I, is the self, is awareness, is consciousness. The reason why I'm saying that it's the true I, because it is via the I, the true I of awareness, of consciousness, that the me, meaning that the body-mind, is known. Mm-hmm. The body-mind appears as a phenomenal event to that which does not appear, to the reality of the self, to consciousness. This is why I said the real I is not a me. So the real I does not go through the cycles of the body-mind. The body-mind images and phenomenal events, they have their cyclical patterns, day and night, time and space, etc. Conditionality, event A may trigger event B in that realm. But in the realm of the true I, the self-awareness, then that lingo, the conditional lingo, does not apply. You have to go to the absolute lingo.
Right. Right. You could say, awake, I am, is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter how you say it. What matters is your understanding. Because when you speak from understanding, whatever words you are using are imbued with your understanding. Right. But when you use words that sound like they're very smart words, but they're not backed up by your understanding, even the most holy words that you may pronounce, when they're not backed up with your living understanding, they fall short.
Right.
So you could say, I am awake. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters where you say it from. This is why the contemplation of the self can be summarized as knowing one's true nature, knowing your true self. It's about self-knowledge, self-inquiry. Meaning knowing your true self so that everything that you express from the truth, from the reality of the self, from your true knowingness, and not from your imagined knowingness.
That's why I have. You hear echo?
No.
Oh, that's why I like this satsang so much, because you can have a conversation with the sort of common understanding of I'm the body, you know, all these things, and then have a philosophical conversation, and it only goes so far. It's just the cogwheels of the common misunderstanding just keep coming into play, and in the satsang, it's just so wonderful to have it aired out.
Yes. What they say, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the three pillars of the spiritual inquiry is Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So the Buddha is the teacher, the Dharma is the teaching, and the Sangha is the community of truth lovers. So the teaching, the Dharma, in a way, in Satsang, we have both Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We have the teacher, the teaching, and truth loving. And we're all teachers, and we're all the Sangha. We're all one in Satsang.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just like a slight shift from when we say Sat Chit Ananda. It's clear that there's only being, awareness, and love, you know, happiness. And in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, it's really the same thing, only there's a little shift. You're saying, we're here for a reason, you know, we're inquiring, something like that.
Yeah. The contemplation of the self, satsang, and whenever we think of God, when we think of truth, when we contemplate truth, it's very happy. So it's a celebration of our happiness, of our innate happiness. So it's Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, satsang. This happiness is coming together to celebrate our innate happiness, our true nature, which is freedom, beauty, love, and happiness. And we do feel happy and deep in our being when we are contemplating the truth, when we are we're loving the truth and celebrating that. It's beyond words. It's a delight in being. Delighting in being. Delighting being. Delighting beingness. Delightful beingness. So beautiful because you don't have to go anywhere, do anything, get anything, go anywhere, attain anything, liberate anything. You don't need to do any of that. Just to delight in beingness.
When you were talking earlier and you talked about how relationship is a celebration, it's a beautiful expression and celebration of, you know, beingness and stuff. And then I thought, oh yeah, and then when there's nobody there, you have the beauty of solitude.
Well, solitude.
You know, and that's another expression of the same thing. You know?
Yes, right. It's beingness. Beingness is never turned off. Never turned off. You can celebrate company and friendship and relationship. You can celebrate this pure being, which is a really beautiful celebration. You can celebrate the world. You can celebrate the body, going for walks, swimming, whatever. You can celebrate the mind, the arts, creativity, theater, whatever. So celebration of the world, body, mind is not limited to being in company or being in a relationship. Sometimes we are not in a relationship and we don't know how to celebrate that.
Good point.
We keep looking at the greener grass on the other side of the fence.
Right. The person, your neighbor, is looking over and saying, oh, that guy.
Yes.
He's got it easy.
I wish I could have some time alone. Yeah. So it's a skill and art to develop the celebration of being, period, across the board, in all conditions, in all situations.
Oh, that's just beautiful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Why not? It's great. We have all it takes to do so.
I took a road trip 2 years ago in the spring. I drove my van out to Austin, Texas. It's a long drive, and I tried to stay off the freeway as much as possible. And it's just so beautiful. The world kept showing up as cactuses and mountains, and then a gas station attendant.
Yes, absolutely.
And then family at the end of the trip.
Okay, you know? Okay, that can sometimes get hairy.
No, mine is very good.
Okay. Well, very lovely to talk with you and with you all. Very beautiful. Very happy that we spend this time together. And so we'll see you next week, yeah? Okay. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.